Hello and welcome to another free.volous webisode. I salute you with my bare face because today is another up close and personal session. Today we are going to try the L'Oreal Infallible Total Cover Foundation. I saw this about a week ago in my local supermarket, so it's out in Portugal, which is wow for L'Oreal. They took over a year to make the Pro Matte available here, and we don't have the Pro Glow as far as I know, so but this one is available. This is said to be a full coverage foundation or total coverage foundation with a matte finish, which is weird because that's basically the Pro Matte. I know that this one is a whipped formula that is very heavy in silicone, so be wary of that. I know that if I use too many silicones in a row, I'm going to be bursting, but I'm going to give it a try anyway. I'm going to prep my skin with a hydrating primer. This is Illamasqua Hydro Veil, and this is sort of a gel that you apply onto your skin, and it's really hydrating because I know this is very matte and I don't want it to start off with the disadvantage of not having anything underneath. I've of course done my usual skincare routine, but I want to add a little bit more because I know that this is probably very drying with its matte formula and whipped texture, so I want something for it to glide on. It still feels, because this hydrating primer is really light on the skin, it's good for people with oily skin in my opinion. I'm going to add the Becca Backlight Priming Filter a little bit just on the outer areas of my skin because I want some glow to show through, or I want to see if some glow shows through the foundation. Yes, I'm primed. I'm going to start off using my clean fingers to apply the foundation to see how it goes, how it glides, and to see what kind of tool I may want to use with this. Probably because it's a very thick texture, I'm going to go for the brush, but let's see. Yeah, it's really thick. It's basically whipped. It's not runny at all. Let's see how it glides on the skin. Yeah, it's not very elastic, I should say, at least not with the fingers. It provides quite a good amount of coverage, but it sort of stays on the skin. So I'm going to use the 104 Buffer Brush by Zoeva, which is my favorite for this kind of situation. And as you can see with the brush, it's already giving me a little bit more control, and I can spread it more evenly. And I'm testing this out, although this is not one of those foundations that I would wear on an everyday basis because it's too heavy. I'm testing this out as someone who would need to apply this and run out the door. So this is not one of my no makeup for textured skin tutorials where you spend a lot of time on your skin. I'm trying to be realistic here. But yeah, I'm muffing this into the skin. If you're wondering about my shade match, this is number 22 Radiant Beige, and it was one of 3 colors that were available at my local supermarket, so that's what I'm working with. I think it's not about match, it's slightly light, but honestly, I prefer it to be slightly lighter, and then I tone it down with a bronzer wherever I need it. Just building up a little bit more. Oof, yeah, no. I'm noticing already some problems, but I'll let you know with an up-close shot what I'm talking about or what I'm noticing already off the bat. Okay, so here it is from sort of afar, and I'm going to zoom in. Sorry. So the problem that I'm noticing the most is that it is sitting on my skin, on any sort of texture that I didn't know I had. Can you see this? This is a drying blemish that I had. It's drying for now, and it's not sitting over it, it's clinging onto it and making it look worse. The same over here under my eyes. I have a bit of texture that usually foundations glide over and cover. This is just enhancing it. My pores look refined though, but on the areas where my skin is smooth, it looks absolutely gorgeous. Where I have no texture at all, I just have old scars that are flat. No problem there. But I don't like this happening. Really don't. When I move my face, it sort of clings on and makes it look textured, more textured than it was. So right off the bat, first impression, right after applying it, I would say this foundation is for people with very smooth skin, no texture. And if you have any sort of dryness, dry patch, or even just uneven texture like I have underneath my eyes, they're not necessarily dry, it's just a bit of texture that I have here. It clings onto that area and enhances it a lot. It gives quite a good amount of coverage. My sort of scars, my flat scars are really nicely covered. They say it's good for redness, which I agree. Blemishes, no. Scarring and imperfections. I'm also going to take sort of a damp beauty blender to see if I can press on some of the product onto my skin and make it look less visible. But no, it's doing nothing here. And it sort of lifted a bit of the foundation here on this area. So beauty blenders would not be, that's my experience at least with this kind of foundations. Beauty blenders are not the most appropriate because they start to lift the product. It's too thick and it's not elastic, it's a dry sort of formula. So they end up lifting some of the product off the skin. But yeah, I tried. I'm going to finish off my makeup just so that you don't have to deal with this. And I'll be right back. So my face is done. It's 12:17. Can you see that? In the afternoon. For you, for me it's morning. I'm going to have sort of a laid back day at home. I'm going to work from home today. But because the sun decided to shine right as we speak, I think I'm going to go out for a little bit, so I'll have a little bit of a feel of how this deals with wind and sun and maybe a little bit of rain if it starts to pour again. And I'll let you know throughout the day how it goes. I'm starting to see some shine here. But we'll see. I just give it time. I'll be back. Hey, so I came out for a sort of a late breakfast, and I just wanted to check in on natural light, although it's quite cloudy. But you can see it's been about an hour since I've applied the makeup. And I'm already feeling quite oily on this area here, and it seems to be settling onto some areas, so I don't know, what do you think? I'll let you know more things when I get home. In a few hours I'll do another check-in so that you know what's happening. Hello everybody, it is 5:08, so it's been about a little bit less than 4 hours since my previous check-in, and basically my face is melting. Basically it's melting. I don't know. Yeah, you can see that. Can you see the shine? My forehead, it was melting so bad that I had to take my fringe out of the way, and yeah, and for the rest of it, it has faded a bit around my chin, but I'm one of those people that without noticing rest their face on their hands, so I don't know how much of this was just the foundation on itself fading and the rest of it just clinging onto my hand. But it's still, there's some residue clinging onto my dry patches, which is not good. And where I still have product, it looks a bit patched up and greasy. So I'll zoom you in. Excuse me again. Here we go. Where the light hits, I think you can see. Trying to focus. I think you can see where the light hits that this is not looking good. Around my nose, it's really disgusting. Oh! I've just reapplied my lipstick because it was starting. It had faded because I just ate. Under my eyes, it looks absolutely terrible. It has bunched up and it looks cakey, settling onto some areas on the sides of my nose, which is so greasy by now. Yeah, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to blot as I would if I were out and about and see what I can do to save. Oh, this is so... Oh, my forehead is just dripping in oil. Also, the wrinkles underneath my eyes. Can I look older than with this foundation? I don't need help on this, all of this creasing here. I have combination skin. If you don't know, if you haven't watched my videos and this is your first one, hi! I have combination skin, prone to breakouts, a bit sensitive. Lipstick on my teeth at all times. I have, of course, hyperpigmentation to cover. Not good. Oh, this does not look good. Look at the amount of grease. I've blotted as gently as I can to maintain the foundation on my skin, but at this point in time, I had to do my average day at work outside of my house. I would definitely reapply foundation. And I would not reapply this one, just to be really brutally honest. I'm going to see if I can reapply this. I've seen some mixed reviews on this, so it doesn't surprise me one bit. And as you can see, comparing my forehead to my jaw, the foundation actually has oxidized a bit. Oh God, yeah, no. Oh, it feels terrible. It's just bunching up on itself. Yeah, 6 hours. It's not much. Foundations on me tend to not last a lot, but they fade with a little bit more of dignity, I would say, than this one. And it is starting to crease on my laugh lines. It already was, but now that I've reapplied, it seems to be bunching up there. But when I touch it, there's nothing there. It doesn't feel at all sticky. I'm not going to get this anywhere near my eyes because crackly under eye area. It makes it look a lot worse than it actually is, although it's not perfect. I will do another check-in. I have a dinner tonight. I don't think I'm going to take this out for dinner because it doesn't look good at all on my skin. But I'll be back with the final check-in before I remove this off of my face, be it before I go out to dinner and redo my makeup, or if I go out for dinner with my family looking like a raisin. So last check-in of the evening, it is 7:43, so it's been over 8 hours since I've applied the foundation basically. And yeah, it's not for me. I don't know about you, but if you have textured skin and wrinkles around your eyes, any sort of dry patches, this seems to cling onto them and make them worse, and it doesn't settle or doesn't improve throughout the day. And when it comes to oiliness, despite this being a matte foundation, it does what most matte foundations do, which is the oils start to seep through and separating the foundation throughout the day, and it looks quite greasy. So all in all, I think this foundation would be good for people with normal combination-ish skin, not too dry, not oily, unless you keep on blotting and powdering throughout the day. And people with very smooth skin that have no problems for the foundation to cling on to. So yeah, this was sort of a dud to me. This is sold for under 14 euros, I think 13.90, but don't quote me on that. It's under 15 euros for sure on supermarkets and on some stores that sell L'Oreal here in Portugal, and it's available online. I'll leave some links down below if you're interested, because you may have smooth skin and normal skin. Oh, it also settled onto my fine lines here on my forehead. Nice. So yeah, this was my Up Close and Personal on the L'Oreal Total Cover Foundation. I'm sorry for shoving my face on your screen, but that's the only way to show you the nitty-gritties of any product. If you want to see more foundation, sort of up close and personal, even with old foundations that I may have, just to show you how they look on my particular skin that may be similar to yours, let me know. I don't mind doing these sort of updates and sort of videos, so let me know down below in the comments. I hope you've enjoyed this little bit with me. Thank you for being around. Subscribe if you haven't already, please. That would mean the world to me, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.